What's one thing mussels and oysters have in common? While it's true that both of them are edible, there are also both calcareous marine organisms. Now, why is that important? It's actually because both organisms are being greatly affected by ocean acidification. What is ocean acidification? Ocean acidification is when CO2 released by humans is absorbed by the ocean. These emissions come from the burning of fossil fuels, cement production, deforestation, and etc. When CO2 combines with water, it creates carbonic acid. The acid lowers the pH in the ocean water, making it more acidic, hence the name ocean acidification. How does ocean acidification affect mussels and oysters? The carbonic acid created lowers the ocean water pH, but it also depletes the carbonate that the mussels and oysters use to create their shells and skeletons. As the acidity level rises, calcareous marine organisms will find it harder and harder to build their shells and skeletons due to the lack of carbonate ions in the water. High acidity levels also dissolve the shells of these organisms. Without a shell, mussels and oysters cannot survive, so this will lead to many of them dying off and the population dropping. How is it shown in the data? As you can see here on this graph, as carbon dioxide levels go up, pH goes down, which means the ocean is becoming more acidic. And as pH goes down, so does the calcification rates of mussels and oysters. We can see from this graph that the average pH each year has been decreasing. There's also less variability in recent years. For example, in 2008 and 2009, the pH rises all the way to 8.7, but in recent years, the data stays between 8.1 and 7.6. Why is this important? Mussels and oysters are important because they play an immense role in the global economy and many coastal ecosystems. Many other organisms rely on them to survive, such as barnacles and anemones, which attach onto oysters to grow. They are also important to the economy because they act as a source of food and income for many. If these mollusks go extinct, it could have a significant impact on coastal biodiversity and ecosystem functioning, along with significant economic loss. So, what can you do about it? Don't worry though, there are many ways we can work together to prevent this from happening. Here are a list of things you can do to help. Number 1. Reduce CO2 emissions. Since CO2 is a cause of ocean acidification, the most effective way to prevent it is to reduce your CO2 emissions. In the description below, we've included a couple of links to simple ways you can reduce your CO2 emissions in your daily life. Number 2. Spread awareness. The next best thing you can do is to spread awareness about global warming and climate change. Inform others of ocean acidification and its devastating effects on the ecosystem. Call your local politicians and ask them about increasing funding for ocean acidification research and to combat climate change. Number 3. Donate money to organizations like the National Resources Defense Council and the Ocean Conservancy, which research and work to prevent ocean acidification. We will include some links to donate to in the description below. Mussels and oysters serve as important parts of the ecosystem, and we cannot allow them to go extinct due to ocean acidification.